Hi guys, it's Belle here and I am back for day 3 of hashtag Creep on June 2025, created by the wonderful Tracy Fox. Please do check out my description box below. It will have all the links to her YouTube, her Etsy and her website, where you can find all the different pieces of the Nevermore Ledger kit, which is what we're working with this Creep on June. And yes, don't forget to use the hashtag both to follow along with everyone, and also if you are making things as well, so that people can check those out. Yes, so today's base, as I've said in my previous 2 videos, for the most part I'm going to be working with the daily bases. I like doing that. It's just making a little bit of ephemera, and I will be making a journal where these pieces of ephemera are going to go into. And today we have this stunning envelope. I love this kind of green and brown, and my thought is this is the envelope that Poe is writing to Dr. Frankenstein to find out. And on the inside here, I'm going to use some of this music paper, this vintage music paper. And when I was doing some splattering with my fan brush, some black ink, I sometimes have some ink left on and I don't want to waste it, so I just kind of make marks on bits of paper and things. I thought it worked really well because it gives the idea of scribbles and like fierce, intense writing and stuff, which is kind of what we are going for with Poe with this piece. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of just glue part of the base onto here. I'm trying to see if that goes all the way up. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to glue part of the base onto here. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of rip it to size. And that's because we are going to put an acetate window in here at the front. So yeah, actually, if we do it like this, then I can actually get it as near to the edge as I can. It's going to need a bit extra trimming, but that's okay. Like so. Let's put those over there. Then I am going to have to trim it just a little bit because I need it to fit inside without being a problem. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. Hopefully now that will fit inside the envelope and not go over the edges. Like so. Yep. I feel like that edge is not as straight, so it's definitely not as straight. Let's trim that. Okay. It's better. It's not perfect, but it is better. Let's move that over. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do, that's not straight either. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue the top bit on, this to this, and then that'll be it. That's what we'll do first before we then cut out the window. Again, you would have seen me do this before. If I put it on a little bit, it means I can cut both of the pieces out the same shape at the same time. And also I still have the space to slide the acetate into, which you will see. Okay, I need to do this in such a way that it does work. Move it over just a little bit. Okay, so that's now on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that and then ink around everything. Okay, so you can see I've inked that up using ground espresso, and I've really pulled it in from the edges, coming right in, so it gives this darker kind of shadow effect on the envelope rather than just doing the edges. So I've done that, and we've got the music paper on the inside. Now the image I want to use, let me get it up. The image I want to use is this one, because I feel like there's lots of lightning in it. He's writing to Dr. Frankenstein to ask if he can visit, ask him about his experiments, and explain why he's asking, you know, tell Frankenstein about the loss of his beloved, and how he's hoping that Frankenstein might be able to use whatever techniques that he used to create this creature that everyone's talking about to bring back to life his beloved. So I want that to be the window on the front, like so. We're going to do that. And again, you would have seen me do this. I just kind of come on and think about where I want to mark it. You could measure really well if you wanted to. I'm not as bothered. But I'm leaving a border around so that the acetate has room to be glued to it. And then I'm going to draw a line around that and cut that out using my craft knife, and it will cut all the way through this paper as well. Okay, so you can see I've cut a window out, and we've got our two pieces, and then this will go in here, which is why we don't glue it all the way down, and we will have our window. Dun, dun, dun. Stormy night. Now, it doesn't matter so much about the inside, because this is not going to be an open envelope. It will be closed except for the top part. So it doesn't matter about inking the inside of it, but I am going to ink here. I'm also wondering about coming in with ink in a different way. So let's just use the ground espresso and just ink all of this up. Because I'm pre-filming these, because I have several days next week where I've got a lot going on and won't be able to film, I don't actually know what anyone else is doing yet. I haven't been able to watch any other videos. So I'm very excited for that. So I'm going to bring over my, sorry for hitting you, my paint box. And we're going to bring in a little bit of ink. Ink, ink, ink. I'm trying to find, I see it. Right, now the ink I want to come in with is the Distress Oxide Forest Moss. I want to see how that, I'm going to put another piece of paper down, is going to look. And I don't know if I want it, I don't know if I want to spray it or if I kind of want it along the edge here using the nozzle. It's already started going like a grey. Can you see that? That might be because I'm using matte photo paper. So let's see how that looks with a little bit of water. we get some of that green and grey. Oh, I like it. More grey than I was expecting, but that's okay. Let's quickly dry that. That is really interesting because I often use alcohol inks on this paper and we do get the colouring, but the peeled paint, just the grey oxide seems to show with the peeled paint. I don't know, not peeled paint, forest moss. I don't know if that's something to do with not having shaken it up enough, because you can definitely see all the grey down there, but then you can see the green there. I don't know, but interesting. Wasn't quite the effect I was going for, but it will do. So what I'm thinking is I might come in again with the ground espresso, yeah, and just darken those corners again. Being very careful. At the moment it's very weak. It's dry, but we have just put wet mediums on there, so it is still quite weak, and obviously we don't have that much of a border there, so I need to be really careful doing this. Interesting. I will have to play around and see if there's a reason for that. I mean, I don't hate it, but I did want the green. I wanted the green to pick up the green in the rest, and I wish now I'd kind of sprayed it, because I love the sprayed oxide effect here, whereas this might be a bit much, but we move. And what I want to do now is I'm going to glue the acetate in now, because we're going to start to decorate. So I'm going to do that. Oops, not much there. Like so. Yeah, interesting effect. I was not expecting that. But again, that's okay. Right, let's press that down. Now just a little bit on top, around the edges. Okay, let's press that. Oh, have we got some seepage? I didn't do my usual trick, did I, guys? Where I normally flatten it out with a paintbrush or something to stop the smearing. But that's okay too. And there was some glue on this paper, so now it's just everywhere. Okay, so we have our beautiful, to be honest though, that grey really does pick up some of the grey in the picture, if you can see that. That'll be like that. So now what I want to do, it really does need to bend. Is we are going to decorate the piece. Now I feel I need something here now, so it is an envelope, so I wonder about coming in with some postage. Now the historian in me tells me that I'm slightly out if we want to do postage stamps and things with Poe, but I'm trying not to think too much about that, and I'm trying to just go with what goes with the theme rather than think too much about the fact that time-wise, I think Poe himself in real life passed away just before the first stamps were issued, or just after the first stamps were issued. But either way, we're going to go with it, and I'm trying to remind myself it doesn't have to be exact. It's okay. And the historian in me is going, no, Belle, it's not right. We're just going to ignore that a little bit. Okay, that wants to go there now. It's fine. That is fine. Let's get another one. Need to re-stick a lot of those. And I'm using my black Stays On ink because of the other alcohol inks underneath, the oxide inks and things. I don't know if I like that either. I guess we're going to see. I feel like everything's smeared a little bit. That's all right. That's okay, Belle. We move. Now, let's bring in the bits to decorate, because that's the more fun piece. I pulled out my feathers because, as I said in my other video, we're going to be working with, there it is. We're going to be working with feathers or ravens a lot, because on Poe's journey, I want black cert. On Poe's journey around Europe and that, to hunt down or track down anyone who can help him bring back his beloved, the raven is his constant companion, almost like a spirit guide helping Poe along the way. So there will be a lot of ravens and there will be a lot of wings. Can you have a Poe piece without ravens? I don't think so. And I'm going to bring in the stamp. I've been using this one for everything. Oh no. I just put my stamp ink pad down on my mat, because it's one of those days. Let's bring in a little bit of, yeah. Do I want it on both or just on the one? On both. Why not? Why ever not? Yeah, so just think they look really good. Let me get my cloth so that I can wipe this ink pad. Let me actually spray it first. Even though it's the Stays On one, it will come off the glass mat if it hasn't been left to dry too much. Okay then, got our stormy night as he's gone to Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. He's writing to him, requesting, no, I feel like I want it over here, requesting help, asking, praying, hoping for some help. Got some map down here too. Do I want to bring in the map, or do I want a little scrap of the black that I've been using on other things? Let's bring in that little scrap, just a little bit. And that can go down there too. Okay, just down here. Yep, we're going to do that. And we've got our feathers. Now, what else do we want? We want to use the gilding wax on there, don't we? So the Art Alchemy Vintage Gold. I like everything to coordinate. So you are going to see me picking up the same pieces to use throughout the my makes, because not only do I like my pieces to coordinate when I'm doing a challenge, but also these are all going into a journal. So I feel like they really need to be coordinated. I want the feathers. Yep. I may just stick the feathers down, to be honest, because I know where I want their placement. So I'm just going to stick them down. One of them's going to go onto the acetate. Don't worry, I won't be using this for every project. I think in my next project, I don't intend to use it at all, but I do like the effect. So you've got to work with what you like to work with when we're creating. I will have the sheets linked down below if you want some. Right, that's going to go onto the acetate. Just very carefully press that down. We've got our feathers. Oh, I love it. Okay, his letter to Dr Frankenstein. Let's have a look. So I did actually pull out some stamps because I thought they might be fun to use on here. Got the green one, a little red one, the orange. The orange goes quite well, doesn't it? So does the green. We'd have to, it's too, I like the orange, I think. I was going to say it's too bright. Needs to be dulled down. So good old, this is where the inks come in again. And we're just going to dull that down. We could even bring in the green one. Dull that down as well. That's not bothering me quite so much now, which is good. Don't even need to see the person's face. We've got Deutsch and Netherlands. So we've got those. I do have some fabrics. Got this little thing. I'm just looking through the box, seeing what I've got and what I like. I don't think we need that. Oh, I do have, actually, I cut this out. Where's the base? I cut this out. It says specimen. It's going to go on there because I thought that would work as we're dealing with Dr Frankenstein. Let's do it this way. Kind of want to get in amongst all those and dull that down a little bit. Everything's dark and grungy. So it just says specimen. I think. Oh, yes. Is it too grungy? Possibly. Is there any such thing as too grungy? Not for me. Okay, so that's going to go on there. These are most definitely going to go on there. Do I want some black thread behind them? Probably. Or even some lace. I do have some lace and bits as well. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, let's glue these onto each other first, so that I can see where I'm putting. Oh dear, I put it the wrong way up. I guess that's okay. Is it a problem really? Probably not. Then we're going to come on with the threads. Press that down. I am wondering, I have some of this. I think I had a teensy tiny piece. Yes, I did, of this greenish. I think I'm going to put that across the bottom. Okay. And you guessed it, I'm going to stitch. If you didn't guess it, you must be new here. So hello and welcome. I like to stitch things on. So I am going to stitch this right across the bottom there. Okay, so I stitched twice there, and I actually added a little bit of stitching up there. I just felt it helped bring in both sides together. Like that could go over there. Yes. I love it. It's so grungy. This is making me feel like the letters got wet. I mean, look at this forest. It's raining, it's lightning. Wherever Dr Frankenstein lives, the weather's not great there at the moment. So the letter that Poe has sent has got a little bit wet. Oh, I do love that. How is... Oh, that's because it's going to be at the bottom. Oh, love it. Right, okay. Now, I think I probably will add some splatters on here, but I want that to be the last thing kind of done because I want it to kind of be so that it's got time to dry. Now, obviously, he can't be sending a letter to Dr Frankenstein without actually having this. So this is part of the kit. And we have Dr Frankenstein Laboratory. And I need to just trim this a little bit so that it fits in. So let's do that. Oh no, I've dropped my glue. Thankfully, the lid was on. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see what everyone has done. And don't forget, if you go over to Tracy's website, which again is linked down below, you'll be able to find the calendar and be able to click on that calendar and it will take you to the person who is creating as part of the collaboration that day, the creator for that day. Now what I want is this is going to go in here. It's going to be the envelope, but look at that, guys. We actually see Frankenstein through it and the laboratory. Ah, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. When I saw this, I was like, oh, that's going to work so well. Honestly, I'm so happy right now. I am ridiculously happy right now. Now, I do have some vintage graph paper. I was wondering about using some graph paper on the background, but maybe not. Maybe we'll just bring in some normal paper. Now, I also was wondering, I cut out an image from the kit, and this gives me, should we just say Annabelle, Poe's wife. I think her name in real life was Eliza. But yeah, Eliza. Should we just use her actual name? I don't know. I don't know. I still haven't made that decision. But I was wondering about having that kind of attached either on the front or the back. Let's see what it looks like in the envelope if we attached her to this piece. I'm just going to do it right now with a little paper clip because I just want to see what that looks like. A horrible paper clip, but nevertheless. We don't really see her. She's hidden behind. So do you know what? She's going to go on the back. That works better for me if she's on the back. And I was going to use a magnet to keep this down, but I use magnets all the time, and I do get a little bit worried that not everyone has access to them. So I'm just going to grab some scrap papers. Let's do this. So I might use something else this time. Right, let's start gluing. Oh, It's the simple things in life that make me happy. And seeing that Dr. Frankenstein, or at least the Frankenstein bit, and then the laboratory. It's almost like the address of the letter is written on the front, as you would with a letter. However, obviously, it's not, because we have the acetate window. So I kind of love it on there like that. And I'm just going to be using as many scraps as possible that I can for bits and pieces for the backing of tags and things, just because, how could I cut that at a weird angle? Oh, just because it gives me that grungy vibe too. So let's move this. Let's move all of this. Scraps. Ooh. Maybe this is where I can bring in. This is actually some vintage map. It's going to be upside down. Does it matter? Does it matter? I could bring in some of the vintage map just there in this beautiful brown. Look, we've even got the tape on the back. Oh, maybe I don't want to use that bit. I've just got one piece of tape on the back of here. Look at that, vintage tape. Can't believe I'm going to have this upside down. Oh, only today. Do you want some more music paper? Do I want some more of that? I want a different one. Hold on. Okay, I just grabbed some brown paper. Just feel like I want more texture and interest on the back. Like so. So let's do that. So yesterday we did the creature, and today we've kind of done it backwards a little bit, because we did the creature yesterday. Ha ha ha. No, we need the bigger piece. I didn't want to use the bigger piece, but we are going to need it. Oh no. Use it. I could have just printed this back out. That's what I could have done. But that's not what I'm going to do. Yeah, vintage map. Because if he's traveling around Europe and places, then really I should have some maps on here. Oh, that's something I wanted to add to the front. Okay, well, I didn't. Maybe I could add it to the back. Okay, let's do it all that way. Let's bring in my paper trimmer again, so I can just trim this all off. Okay, and I am going to ink this up with some ground espresso. Okay, so that has now been inked all around. I don't want to put anything on the front because the plain background will act as a good background for you to then to be able to see the image itself. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. And we're going to also back this, because what is the point in having another piece if we can't use it to write on? I like as much writing space as possible in my journals. So this journal will be no exception. I want writing space wherever we can find it. And actually this piece will have very little space to be able to write on, because of the envelope itself. Now, I do not want to try to cut this with scissors, guys. I am no good with scissors. Right. And here we have Poe's beloved. That's just how I'm going to refer to her. Poe's beloved. I'm going to rip the bottom of this though. His beloved. Da, 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 da. Poor Poe. So lost. Desperate to find a way to bring her back. Or to be reunited with her. And again, bringing in that ground espresso. I keep forgetting the name of it. I'm going to have to buy scorched timber. My brain wants to say scorched timber when it's not. I think I want her over here. And she's too perfect. I'm looking at it thinking, what is this, Belle? Why is she so perfect, Belle? What are we doing? Okay. Could still have a little bit there. Let me just go and stitch that bit. There we go. Stitched. Grungy. And I'm going to use one of the little... Oh, there's two there. One of the little mini Tim Holtz paper clips to just hold her in place. And this bit should be hidden behind the feathers. That's what I'm hoping. Now, normally I also decorate the inside of here. So let me have a look at what I can use. We do have some flowers. Yeah, I like that. I also was meant to use this on the front. Because it's to do with traveling. Yep, I like that. Okay, let's, first of all, let us ink these. Like so. Could have added, thinking about it, some cogs, because it is, do we like the cog more? I feel like I do like the cog more. I do like this, but it is Dr. Frankenstein, so we're going to add the cog instead. Just the one will work, so let's do that. Just can't have something plain usually on the back. I like some detail on the back of tags and things. It's just that added little extra bit of decoration, as well as that little, ooh, when you turn it over, that little, it's like a little surprise, a little gift when you turn a piece over and you realize, oh, there's something, I'm just patting off some of the glue. There's something else on the back. It's not just paper. Well, that's how I feel anyway. That's why I do it. Plus, I just love to over-decorate. It's a problem. Come on, we all know. There's lots of different things us crafters do, from hoarding our stashes, to buying too much of one thing that we don't need, to not wanting to use pieces. And for me, one of my little issues is love to over decorate where possible. I mean, there could always be more decoration. I'm not like, I don't over decorate as much as I could. Right, what's going on there? That plant needs to go there. Okay, oh, and where are they? Little curator label. I might put some of those on the outside too. Can't have it going to Dr Frankenstein and not have a curator label. Oh, I like that. I mean, I suppose we can. But not in my journal, we can't. Can't see as much of the flower if I do that. Maybe underneath. So it's more like that. Yes, and I'm squishing it up too. So yes, I'm excited to be able to see what everyone is coming up with once it has officially started. But the week that it starts, I have both my boys moving home for a little while. One of them is coming home because it is his summer break from university. And the other one is moving home for a little while too. So I will have gone from having no one here except on holidays to having both of my boys back for at least 3 months. Which will be wonderful, but also just very busy. So the next few days, the start of the week, is when we are moving them both in. They're both moving in back home within a few days of each other. So yeah, I want that creased almost like it's been lifted up and down. That's what I want. So, and it just so happens to land on Creep on June. I was like, really, but guys, I'm so busy. But no, I'm glad to see them. So we have that. Now let's, do I need to stitch anything else? Not those, no. So let's glue this down. Oh, exciting. So yeah, I have to pre-film quite a few videos so that, oh, thank goodness for that. I was worried in case some of the glue had come over the top. So that, yes, they're moving home. That almost even looks like mountains in the background. Okay, fingers crossed, guys, that this fits in. I mean, it should do. We measured it, didn't we? You saw me. I did. Oh, imagine if that came out of... No, we're just going to put it in. I was going to have it popping out. Oh, I love it. I do. I love it so much. Right, now we need to do the back. And let me just grab something. Okay, so the first thing I want to add on to the back is we've got this moth. If you've watched one of my other episodes, you will know that I'm going to be using moths a lot because the way I was raised is that I was always told by my grandmother that moths are the souls of the departed come back to visit. And this is one of the Tim Holtz transparencies, and I just love them. And I also think these colours go really, really well. And instead of magnets, who am I? I actually found when I was going through some of my, what's it called? Just through one of my drawers. I'm still decluttering, guys. It got put on hold whilst I was busy with other things and being ill. But I actually found some Velcro dots. Now, I don't normally use Velcro dots on my crafts, but I thought, I know not everyone has magnets, not everyone can get hold of magnets, so why don't I, for once, use, where's that going to go to, some Velcro dots. It feels weird. I'm not going to lie, guys. Oh my gosh. These are very sticky. They're probably going to take a while to dry. I'm going to use some Velcro dots. Now they're quite big, these ones. I prefer magnets. I prefer the sound of magnets. I prefer the look of them on a craft piece, but we're just going to do things a bit differently. And why not? And we're going to add our moth to the back. I was wondering about bringing in some thread for the moth too. Let's have a look at how I feel about that. I mean, we all know it. It's going to happen, isn't it? I actually need more than that. I don't know where my other one has gone to. Okay, so I pulled out a bit more thread because that's what we need. And I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to put the thread down. Kind of have it a bit of everywhere. Threads, they make me so happy. We're going to put our moth on. That's going to need time as well. I've got some threads hanging there, so that's going to have to be trimmed. Let's pull this over so you can see how many threads are hanging down. It makes me so happy. And obviously the moth's going to need some time as well to dry. So what I'm wondering is, do I want some splatters? I think I do. But do you know what I think I want this time, guys? I think I want some black splatters. We've had some bronze. We could have both. We can have both. Where did my... Sorry, I was grabbing my paint palettes, guys, for the splattering. Sounds like a festival, doesn't it? And I'm using the Winsor Newton Black India ink. If I can get this open. It's my favourite thing to use for splattering. Don't need too much. Okay. Let's get my cloth. Oh, I've put some on this paper. Oh, and some got on the end of the envelope. That's okay. That just adds to it. Little bit of water. Not too much. And we are going to... First thing I'm going to do is put some gloves on because this ink loves to attach itself to my hand. So, yeah. A splatter brush. I've covered the acetate up. And we're also going to add just a little bit down here. Okay, let's have a look at what that looks like. I like it, but I do think that it needs some of the copper that I've been using too. Oh, I'm going to need my other splatter brush because there's no way that I can... My gosh, this paint's so thick. That's too much. That is too much of that. Let me grab my other splatter brush. Okay, so I can't find my other splatter brush. It should just be with my other bits. But so I actually just put some in this bit and sprayed it with some water. Where's this? And then I'm hoping that I can put the rest back in the bottle. Okay. That's better. Because this isn't a splatter brush, it needs a little bit more help. I think is the word I'm looking for. Okay, let's move that over. Let's lift this up. Oh yes, 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 yes. Ah, I love that. The black and the gold. I'm wondering if it needs a bit more black up there. Ooh, just a little bit more. Just here, yeah, sort of coming across the top. There. Okay. Right. That's going to need time to dry because I cannot dry it with my heat tool because of obviously the laminator, the acetate sheet there. Oh my goodness. So let's leave that to dry. Okay guys, so that's basically dry. Can you see that shimmer on the bronze? And the moth is now dry and the Velcro is basically dry. But I'm going to be honest, the Velcro bothers me being that white. So I'm going to go over it with the inks because it does really bother me being that bright. But it is closed. Oh, okay. I'm wondering if we want to put just a little bit on the back. And what I also forgot was I wanted to add the word beloved physician. Because it is Dr. Frankenstein. Victor. Although, if he's anything like the Frankenstein, I don't think I want it. If he's anything like the Frankenstein, I thought that was stuck. It's not. Okay. No worries. We'll just add more glue. If he's anything like the Frankenstein from the book, when Poe actually reaches out to him, he's going to be all, oh, woe is me. No, the creature is sent to cause me like stress. Yeah, if you haven't read the book, Victor Frankenstein is one of the most annoying characters I think I've ever read. He is so self-centered, egotistical, he just thoughtless. Yeah, he's ugh. So I'm sure he'll be saying to Poe, oh, I can't help you. I'm being tormented by the creature. Don't do it. Don't bring her back. Yeah, that's going to go there. He's going to be so caught up in his own drama that he's not going to be that helpful at all. Yeah, that can go there. Brilliant. Wondering if I want a word up there. Hold on, because I have the Tim Holtz rub-ons, TH93695. They're the tiny text ones. And we have them in white, which, oh, I've got to have this one. It says missing you. That's got to go on there. Oh, I'm feeling so sad for Poe. I'm like, oh. And all he wants is Victor's help so that he can maybe find his beloved and bring her back to him. But Victor's going to be no help. Yeah, so annoying, that man. So many times when I read that book, I just want to shake him and go, what are you doing? But there we go. That's the whole point, isn't it? Who is the man? Who is the monster? Huh? Thread everywhere. And the thread kind of reminds me of, one, I love thread. But in this case, it kind of reminds me of the thread stitching because he's a doctor. Now, I am wondering about coming in with just something down in this corner. Just going to lightly attach that. I was wondering about coming in with like a cog or something just down in this corner, because again, over decorate, who, me? Never. We also have some more curator labels. Oh, I love those. Yeah, they definitely have to go on there. So as poor Poe is just wandering, questioning and coming across all sorts of creatures and myths, and can anyone bring his beloved back to him? Do I like it there, or do I want it over here? I feel like because we've got the ink there, that it would work better over here. Do I want just a single cog? I think I do. Okay, let's ink this cog too. And I may also bring in just a tiny bit of splatter on the back here. Know thyself, crafter. And I do. Okay. I may even write a letter from Poe to Dr Frankenstein, and maybe one back, but I don't know, maybe, because I feel like that might be fun to add to the journal that I'm going to make, to actually have a letter in there, just a little bit on the edge there. And now we're going to add just a little bit of splatter, because we haven't got enough. Oh dear. I make myself laugh. That's quite fine. Let's bring in a little bit of the bronze. Let's put it on the moth as well. It will dry. That's quite a big splatter on the moth, but it will dry on the moth, even though that is also a transparency. Let's bring that up. That is very big. Where is my... I mean, I like it, but it's going to take forever to dry. There we go. Maybe bring in a little bit more off. Okay. Bring in a little bit of splatter again. Yeah, and more of the black. I'm almost out of the black, so there's not a lot left. So let's add a little bit of water. Okay. Let's get that off my finger. And there, can you see all of that? So now that has to dry. Okay, so both sides are basically dry now. I'm going to say basically. But we have the beautiful front with our stamps and stamp marks and feathers. And then we turn it over. I mean, how grungy does that look? I really do like this here. I'm still surprised that the peeled paint came out like that, but that's okay. We can actually see some of the green more on the edge. So that's really interesting. This moth is still going to need a bit of time to dry properly, but we have our moth. We have our envelope to Dr Frankenstein. We have our letter, which again, I'm not going to do anything to the front because I want to be able to see it. Then on the back, we have a little image of Poe's beloved, and we have some decoration, a bit of map on there as Poe is explaining to Victor. Oh. why he needs to know about the creature, and can Victor help him in any way. And Victor's going to write back, "No, I cannot help you. I do not know where my creature is gone. Do not do it. She will not be your beloved." Whoa, whoa, whoa. I really like how grungy this bit is down here, actually. But that's it. That is day 3, guys, with the envelope. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did. I love this grungy look. Yep. So that's it. Please do go and check out the calendar so you can find out which creator is actually creating for the collaboration today, and go check them out and show them some love and support. And don't forget, we're only a few days in, so you've got plenty of time to get the kits and make your own bits and bobs out of this stunning Nevermore Ledger kit by Tracy, and put in the hashtag CreepOnJune 2025 to make sure you're keeping up with what everyone is doing. And I'll be back again soon with another video. Until then, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of creepy, crafty fun. Bye for now.